Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are coming to live from Masjid Al-Haq at the entrance of Lodium in Pretoria, South Africa. We welcome all those tuned in via Radio 1584, Medina Media, as well as the Smart Live platforms. Today's Jummah talk at Masjid Al-Haq is from Quran, Surah 7, verse 27. O children of Adam, let Shaitan not deceive you in a manner that he deceived your parents out of paradise, pulling off from them their clothing to reveal to them their shame. Today's talk will be delivered by Yusuf Mustafa, who is a researcher and a journalist at Medina Media and Radio 1584.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against Shaitan, the rejected one. I begin with the mighty name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious, the most merciful. Lord of the worlds, Thee alone we worship, and from Thee alone we seek guidance and protection. May peace and salutations be upon Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, companions, and all those who are assisting in spreading the message of Islam. My respected brothers and sisters and friends, the global spotlight has been focused on hijab issues for quite some time now, with countries such as UK, France, and India imposing a ban on hijab on Muslim women. The concentration is that the Muslim woman is supposed to abandon her hijab. She is supposed to be immorally dressed and undignified as the likes of the non-Muslims as well. In other words, the global agenda is to make sure that even the decently dressed woman should abandon her hijab, just like the non-believing women are doing nowadays. Although women from other major religions such as Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Buddhism have abandoned decent apparel that they used to adorn. You remember that in Christianity, you find that the nuns and all those women who reflected the teachings of Nabi Isa alayhi salam, they portrayed that dignified way of dressing. But today, they've been tricked into abandoning this modest way of dressing. Women of other faiths no more dress in a respectful manner as they did before. Hence, the agenda is now to force the Muslim women to abandon modest dressing and be corrupted as well. That is the main agenda now, that the Muslim women should follow suit. We are reminded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Baqarah, Ayah 120, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The Jews and the Christians will never be pleased with you unless you follow their ways. Surah Al-Nabi, Allah has spoken the truth. Therefore, the agenda of debating about modesty that is going on right now is not a new issue. It is an old trick in Shaitan's book. It is an ongoing issue since time immemorial. Shaitan has used the tool of moral degeneration to win over as much followers as possible. Now, there is a very interesting ayat of the Holy Quran where Allah proves that this is an ongoing trick that Shaitan has been using since the time of Nabi Adam alayhi salam. The evidence is found in chapter 7 of the Holy Quran, ayah 27, where Allah says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. O children of Adam, let not Shaitan deceive you in the manner he deceived your parents out of paradise, pulling off from them their clothing to reveal to them their shame. Allah has spoken the truth. Now listen to this very carefully. Allah says, it happened before. Shaitan went to Nabi Adam and Bibi Hawa and tricked them and made them believe that the shameful act is not part of haya. The shameful act is not part of the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, he revealed to them by removing their clothes. Now from this ayat, we learn something very important. We learn that the Shaitan started off with Adam and Bibi Hawa alayhi salam by deceiving them to take off their clothes, hence getting the ball of immorality rolling. As they fell prey to this satanic influence, what they did, misguided belief started until as early as just before Nabi Muhammad revived the deen of Islam. Now remember, just before Nabi Muhammad came to revive the deen in Saudi Arabia, what kind of a society was it? It was a highly immoral society. Can you believe it that they even used to go around the Kaaba in stark nakedness without wearing anything? Because from that time of Shaitan, when he deceived Adam and Bibi Hawa, he made the people to believe that there is nothing wrong with taking off the clothing of haya, the clothing of shame, the clothing of hiding shame. So until as recent as just before Nabi Muhammad revived him, they followed this trick of Shaitan of taking off their clothing. So today, even the so-called Muslim majority countries such as Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates have joined the chorus of the Shaitan in discouraging hijab. It is so discouraging that if you look at a country that a lot of people looked up to, that is Saudi Arabia, when it comes to moral values, what are they doing now? They are holding functions, amusement functions as well as discourse. We know what happens in discourse. Scantily dressed women, they participate in these functions, and you know what transpires after that. This is the same trick that Shaitan is using, that hold these functions, hold these amusements, so that the moral degeneration of any society takes place and rudeness takes place. By participating in these events, undignified acts normally follow indecently dressed women. That is why the Quran advises believing women to put on an outer garment when going out for valid reasons. The evidence is found in chapter 33 of the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Ahzab in ayah 59. What does Allah say? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tell your wives, your daughters, and believing women to cast their outer garments over themselves so as to be recognized and not insulted, molested, or abused. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most forgiving, most merciful. Now let's concentrate a bit on this ayat of the Holy Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when a believing woman, now here Allah says a believing woman, when she goes out, she has to put an outer garment. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His infinite mercy, He gives you the reasons why she must do that. Reason number one, she is supposed to hide a shame. And the most important reason is that when she goes out, number one, she should be identified as a Muslim woman, and she should be identified as a dignified woman, as a modest woman. And most importantly, she should not be molested, she should not be abused, and she should not be insulted. Verily, Allah has spoken the truth. Now, as part of the solution to all the problems that we are observing around the world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His infinite mercy again in the Quran, He gives us more guidance, and more advices, such as in Quran chapter 2, ayah 187, that is chapter Baqarah. Allah says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, your wives are your garment, and you are a garment for them. Now, look at the garment. What does it do to you? A covering to you. A garment not only covers the body from shame, but also gives beauty and grace and dignity and respect. If you wear properly, you become a respectable person. Now, here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, don't only concentrate on the hijab of the women. Men also, you are supposed to be an example. You are supposed to be an example to your wives as well by decently dressing. And also a garment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, a husband and a wife should not only cover and shield each other from external worries and temptations and abuse, but should do so with grace and dignity. Therefore, Allah draws a similitude between a garment and marriage. Now, this is another important factor that the issue of garment is emphasized through marriage as well. Now, for my brothers and sisters who are shying away from marriage, this is an advice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that all the shames that we are seeing around can be sorted out by we getting married and building proper family structures in the society so that we can live in peace and tranquility. And one more important point before I conclude. Muslim women, they wear hijab because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us to do so. And most importantly, Allah says, do so at an early age. Now, why an early age? We have got a tendency of saying, no, our children are too young, we'll see to it when they grow up. And believe me, when they grow up, once they reach the age of 15, 16, to start telling them to adorn hijab is very problematic. And in most cases, you receive rebellion from these girls and boys when you tell them to dress properly. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, treat them or teach them to dress modestly at an early age, so that it is therefore very important to begin observing modesty at a very young age so as to appreciate its value. This is a way in which a woman or a man, Muslim man, can grow in faith so that we can embark on a spiritual journey without having problems later in life. Now, surprisingly, very briefly, if you look at places like Madagascar, very crowded places, in taxi ranks and in the CBD where it's crowded, what happens there? We always observe that the taxi drivers, when they see a scantily dressed woman, they disrespect that woman. They shun upon that woman who is dressed immorally. They frog march them as a way of being annoyed with them for spreading mischief and corruption. And most surprisingly, on the other hand, the same non-Muslim men, when they see a decently and modestly dressed woman, such as the Somalian or the Ethiopian women, we see the Somalian women, how they dress. They observe what Allah advises in the Quran, that when you go out, cast your outer garment so that you don't reveal shameful attire, so that you are respected. So when they see these decently and modestly dressed women, what do they say? The respect for them grows, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala requires in the Quran. Now, this shows that a natural instinct for respect happens amongst all the people, regardless of Muslims or non-Muslims. So if a decently dressed woman commands such kind of respect, we should make sure that we encourage such, because only the agents of Shaitan will encourage the removal of hijab. They know that a woman's loose morals has ripple effects in speeding up moral decay. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us strength and ability to fight the influences of the Shayateen. May He give a victory to all modest, loving Muslims globally, inshallah. Wa ma alayna illa al-balagh al-mubin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And don't forget that there is a march in support of hijab at the Indian consulate in Johannesburg, which is going to be starting at 1:30. You advise, please go and partake to show support for morality and modesty around the world, inshallah. And again, another announcement, there will be time change for Salat, inshallah, at this masjid as from Tuesday, the 1st of March. That will be Salah, Fajr Salah Azan, or rather Fajr Azan will be at 10 to 5. Fajr Azan will be at 10 to 5, and Fajr Salah will be at 5:05. And Isha Azan will be at 8:05, that is 8:05, and Isha Salah will be at 8:20, inshallah. That is from Tuesday, the 1st of March. And on Monday, from 2 p.m., inshallah, the famous, delicious Maimuna Halim will be sold from here, that is from 2 p.m. on Monday, inshallah. Those who want to buy the famous delicious Lemunas Hanim will be sold at these premises of Mustafa Haq, entrance of Lodium, on Monday, inshallah. And later on, Laylatul Miraj, as we know that on Monday evening, it will be Laylatul Miraj. So at this masjid, there will be a short program, including a lecture and recitation of the beautiful names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are all welcome to participate in commemoration of Laylatul Miraj. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.